Yo, what's good in the hood? It's your boy, TWI, $T, Uncle Twist in the mix,
What's good? It's your boy Sincere, a.k.a. Sin, a.k.a. Sin Simma. Who got the keys to the Beamer?
You already know the boy get busy. You ask who is he? It's your boy Tizzy. Showtime. You already know what it is. Man Dem podcast all day.
Follow the Man Dem podcast at Man Dem podcast. That's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Toronto West End, done.
What up, Man Dem podcast all day, every day. Thank you for locking in for another episode. Another legend has left us and returned back to the heavens in which they were so blessed with the gifts and talents that they graced us with for their duration on time. On earth with us, Miss Aretha Franklin, has passed away recently, the cause of death, pancreatic cancer, that C word seems to be a real common denominator.
Still full cancer all day.
Amongst everybody here, whether that's just, directly, indirectly, personal family, friends of family, whatever the case may be. That's something not to joke with, and, it's crazy, 76 years young.
Yeah.
To know these kind of battles, that these kind of diseases, and that one particular could have on somebody, just slowly eat away at you, and you start to shrink down and become a shell of yourself, and certain days you can't even do the basic human functionalities that some people take granted for. It's crazy because you get to really see the lasting impact and legacy a person has on society, unfortunately, when they pass. But with her, it's crazy because I felt like she's one of those people, just based off of who she was and what she's done for a whole culture and music and just a sound of the soul, is that she's seen a lot of the appreciation and just due that she was deserving of while she was alive. She was hella respected by her peers, generations of music after the fact of reigning supreme over 60 freaking years. Some people just want to have a 5-year music career and you're good. That's generations on generations and decades on decades of just significance and just seeing your work and your sound spill over. All of us love hip-hop here, and all of our top fives, differentiate to a degree, but, mad producers have sampled Aretha. You understand what I'm saying? I just feel that, everybody, whether you know or not, you are directly affected by this, because even if you didn't listen to her as an artist, you listened to who got their sound and influence from her, and they grew up in a household that was really heavily influenced and orchestrated. That was the soundtrack in the household on a Saturday, whether it was cleaning or just holding a vibe like that. That woman had a voice that just resonated with people because you heard the pain, you heard the suffering, but you also heard this triumph and redemption in her voice, and you felt it. You felt the soul when she was singing, and then based off of certain harmonies, you heard the gospel. So you saw the church influence. She was so crazy, and so she was rounded to a different level, because some people grow up in the church and then they rebel from that, but she even went back, and did what she had to do, show her appreciation her own way, and I salute that. So, salute to the queen for real, man.
Salute, rest in peace. Definitely, she grew up, she was born in Memphis, but she grew up in Detroit, and, Detroit has always kind of been, a hard-nosed type of city, a little bit of a tougher environment, but, to Show's point, where a lot of kids whose parents are heavily dabbled into the church, you know, she took that upon herself, you know, to be in this congregation, and that's when she really started, you know, polishing and honing in on her craft, you know, that the world appreciates to this day and is going to continue to appreciate. So, and she grew up around some greats too, like Duke Ellington, Nat Cole, Elton John, for all my jazz fans out there, you know who that is, and also Diana Ross. So she mixed and mingled and grew up with you know, other people that were, you know, skilled too. But like to Show's point, that voice is definitely what's going to stand out from the pack. And you know, a lot of people we talked about in the last episode, you know, about Whitney. It's, you know, without Aretha, you know, there's no Whitney and a lot of other artists or female artists with that, you know, that voice. It all really started with Aretha Franklin. So to know that she had a run for basically 6 decades, that's like retirement age. That's just mind-boggling, and just shows that she always had a way of reinventing herself and always just giving people music that they can, number one, relate to on a personal level, but also for a joyous and feel-good moment to catch a vibe. So, you know, definitely sad as it is, we're going to live through her music, and music's going to live through all of us. And thanks, Queen of Soul, man. You dead in the flesh, but not in our hearts and our minds and our ears.
What I salute the craziest about her is that even when she just came to terms that she wanted to do the music in that time, it's like, and you're growing up in a real strict Baptist type household, like anything that sounds, smells, or looks secular is getting frowned upon. And I mean, to the point where some families, depending on reputation within the community, might even want to, you know, abandon and disown you.
Yeah.
Like you're not following. You know what I mean? This is dead set. Like you don't have a choice. Like you need to grow up in the church or else. And just coming off of Aretha for a hot second, like that's never the approach, because those people who are force fed in the church are the ones that rebel.
Yeah.
A bunch of colleagues like that, where Friday, Saturday, Sunday had to be in church, and then they did the worst out there. So salute to her, because without her rolling the dice on that, and you know, maybe at first her family wasn't receptive to that. There could have been some shakiness and, you know what I mean, a lot of hostility towards that, but she rolled the dice and did something selfless so she can share her gift from God with us, you know what I mean, and give people the music they needed to get through, whether that be a relationship or just, you know what I mean, put the bandana on and the cleaning gloves and just have a field day on a Saturday, you know what I mean, like just even cleaning up to some Aretha and I mean having a jam session, like, but she did what she did, and you know, it's crazy because had she just stayed in the church, you know, I'm pretty sure she would have been great in the choir, you know what I mean, just, you know, the service in the Lord,
yeah.
I mean, in that gift. But what she did, I mean, at a far further, you know, at a further reach, and I salute her for that, because if it was gospel, I probably wouldn't have listened to it at that age, and, you know, whatever the case may be, when I'm growing up in my household within the 80s and 90s, like what I heard from Aretha was just, you know what I mean, my mom really just, you know what I mean, just having a blast, you know, so salute to her for that, you know what I mean?
That soul, that pain, just evoking emotion through her voice, it gave you chills, it resonated on a spiritual level, even just for the hip-hop community, like a lot of the reasons why, well, of course my parents played Aretha in the house, but a lot of reasons why we know a lot of songs are memorable and stick with you is the samples, and Aretha's been sampled endlessly throughout hip-hop. So just, even though she's passed, like, just to hear her music and then other people who added her samples or songs to their songs, like, she's always going to be with us, always. Hip-hop appreciates Aretha to the fullest. We have that respect for good music and just genuine people, so it's a sad day.
I'd say the two, it's crazy, they're both not here. The two most heavily influenced and sample artists, I would say, would be Aretha and James Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say that. This off the top, like James Brown, and Aretha have been sampled. Granted, there's probably a bunch of other people have been sampled, but like just a little tiny steal here of Aretha, you don't even know it until someone really just fucks with you. You know what I mean? And like James Brown, how many like times you slip through the cracks and you're like, oh shit, that was James Brown. Those two. I mean, like most definitely. You know what I respect about her too? Is that she had the true embodiment of a diva, right? But like, not what people are calling a diva nowadays. Because when you think about divas, you think about like high maintenance, self-entitled motherfuckers who, you know what I mean, don't appreciate the people who got them there. So you might see a fan one day and like look at them like, ugh. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she was a diva but had no sass or no bitch to her. You understand what I'm saying? That's that respect about it, because like what we're looking about divas, like, you know, some people, you pick your pocket and then you never really want to meet your favorite celebrity because you find out they're a dirtbag, right? But like, I feel like she was a diva minus the sass and any itchiness, right? But she knew in her mind as well as her body of work, so no one can F with her. You know what I mean? Without making it seem like, yo, that was just coming out of her pores to the point where you can call her arrogant. No, she was a diva in the way she carried herself. You understand what I'm saying? But you never got that, oh, you know, like, I don't want to be around this person. Like, you know, like everyone has their thing about Mariah Carey, and for the most part, it seems to be true. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just put a bunch of several different sources and they all have the same complaint about you. Okay, like, your diva's kind of high maintenance. I mean, you gotta have, like, 1,000 Skittles in a bowl and y'all gotta be purple and perpendicular to this. Like, it seems like it's too much shit with her, right? Whereas Aretha was just a real diva in regards to the way she carried herself, and, you know, she knew her worth. Yeah, I fuck with that. You know what I mean? And that's why they say she's the queen of soul. You know what I mean? Because, like, what she did is, like, you hear the influence in other music, but you're not imitating that. Like, you know, for anyone to really imitate it, you're going to pull off the Action Bronsons of all Action Bronsons with Ghostface, because I don't think that sound ever gets imitated again. And even just not even regards to the impact of her sound, is just the trailblazing of her legacy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just even being the first woman. I mean, I'm 3 years old, this shit's happening, right? The first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, that shit's crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, first woman and you're a woman of color. Like, you don't want to break it down like that, but that also makes it,
time icing on the cake.
Yeah, a lot of more significant in that regard. So, you know, I gotta salute it at that, because those are milestones. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been any other woman in that regard if they wanted to front on her talent and use certain things against her. Right? Like, just the politics of being a minority, but they didn't, because you couldn't, like, really just tuck away that talent and act like it didn't exist. Like, it's front, exactly, blaring through your radios. People are dancing their shoes off to the point where their feet are swelling up to this woman. Like, you don't deny that's what music's about, right? It's about catching a vibe, right, and creating a scene and a feeling. So, you know, I definitely salute her for that, because the things that she's accomplished, fuck.
Like, it's like such a long list.
It's pretty.
To start with, even some of the people she performed with, that's a good one to start with.
That can go on and on and that. I don't want, but
I think culturally too, because I know a show that we grew up watching, A Different World, like her just doing
the theme song.
And that's a monumental show for us too, because like growing up to see young black kids going to college and just living a lifestyle where it's like, it made you value education, and the fact that even at that point she's out of this world, and she still took the time and had the vision to be like to give her beautiful voice to a show that you didn't even know if it was gonna have an impact, but like her just belting out those notes just off rip, just hearing that you wanted to watch the show, like you had to watch the show. Aretha Franklin is doing the intro to your show. Come on, forget about it.
And you know, there's a whole younger generation. I don't know. It depends who you talk to what a millennial is or is not, right? Yeah. But you know, for everyone that's there, that might be on some, oh my God, like all day, these past couple days I've been hearing about Aretha Franklin. What's the big deal? Hold that thought. Let's just run through a little tiny list, right? So she is a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Honor, right?
Yeah.
She's on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? Again, let's just say this again because some that you want to stun about. First woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hold that shit, right? 18 Grammy Awards, right? Nominated over 30 plus times. 18 of them bitches. She has on a trophy shelf, right? 44, yeah, right? Grammy Legend Award in 1991, right? Via the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. 1994, she levels up and gets a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, right? Then she gets inducted into the UK Music Hall of Fame, mid-2000s, aight. And then all of a sudden, Billboard Top 100 names her the all-time top artist. Rolling Stone has her as the greatest singer of all time. And on top of that, she's also in the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Those are just little things. That's not even all of her accolades. That's just like, because I know that these podcasts are confined to certain time limits and shit, right? But when you want to ask what the big deal is, like, take a fraction of that list, play spin the fucking donkey, send 3 of your favorite artists. And just a fraction of that list, and just tell me their accolades. You know what I mean? And what we were celebrating, other than the fact of followers, money, vanity. Like, this woman has substance, legacy, culture icon, right? Now, those are the things we gauge people on back in the day, right? It wasn't, I don't think you're dope based off of your musical range. Like, I don't fuck with you unless you wear this or you do that, right? She comes from a different era and essence where it was show and prove, right? And the show and prove was, you know what I mean? Like, fuck my bank, yeah, I could be banging on the sidewalk, but I'm singing with this pain. I mean, you hear this pain, and you're not gonna have to fucking acknowledge this pain. And this pain is therapeutic, and someone resonates with this because they've been through this heartbreak. You know what I mean? They've been through this struggle. They've been through this adversity and shit. You hear it. It means that for some people, they just need to listen to Aretha, and they're good to go. Wake up in the morning feeling like shit. Within 4 to 6 minutes, you hear some Aretha, you're out the door and you're upbeat. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And those are the things where, back in our culture of where we grew up in, you know what I mean, we were calling people icons and legends. Like, those are things of substance we weighed people on. You know, like, we're not taking all these cars to your grave and, you know what I mean, all these nice things, right? But look at her, like, she's being celebrated, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Tributes. I mean, people redoing her music, you know what I mean, doing covers and all that stuff. Like, that is crazy.
They just might have to give her own day, man, her own holiday. Aretha.
Give her own day, give her 2 statues, one in Memphis, one in Detroit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, too, because I didn't even really take it, you know what I mean, the whole penis aspect of it, but, like, you know, everyone made their fucking jokes and all that, right? But Elton John's Elton John. Like, yeah. Let's be clear. You know, Fruity Pebble, whatever the fuck you want to coop. He's fucking Elton John.
Yeah.
You know, just Google 2 words. You know, look who he's worked beside and all that shit and his accolades and shit. I mean, he's like, yo, that, other than him, like, she's one of the greatest pianists he's ever seen. Like, on the piano, she didn't fucking romp. That's coming from him. Like, I wish Prince was alive. I'd like to hear his take on that. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, people that we known for those things would be like, yo, don't front on her. Like, you guys heard her vocals blaring through the speakers, but she got busy with the, yeah, right? So that's the musician aspect of that. And I salute that, you know, all day, because even I sit down there and think, like, I don't know who's going to be the next Aretha. Again, I think after, you know, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen for another 100 years, you know, unrealistic, but whatever. As long as it has to, I mean, to the very last moment, like a Beyonce or something like that. She might get celebrated for everything she's accomplished, but what after that? Like, let's stop throwing out these words legends and icons so loosely, right? Just based off of someone that had a good 1-2 year run. 60 plus fucking years. We gotta find another word for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to find a different fucking word for her, bro. Cause that's crazy, man.
That's what a legacy is and what it's supposed to be. That's the epitome of a legacy, leaving a legacy.
Stamp over a long stretch of period.
When you pass, you are still alive forever. Not a lot of people stay alive forever, man. Not a lot of people are granted that gift to be here after their bodies went to the essence. You know what I mean? So,
and it's sad because because I heard the outlandish shit. What were they comparing this guy? And rest in peace to him. That XXX Tenacion guy. What were they comparing him to? Legend wise, Tupac,
Kurt
Cobain.
Yeah.
When's the last time you ever seen anyone post about that guy?
yeah, exactly.
I'm just asking, I'm not even no shade, but
People post about him, but I know what you're getting at.
But again, it's no shade, right? It's yo, he was good. I'm not gonna, again, I know that, whatever that beat is, that beat's hard. But, other than that, what? We're really, she's a legend, but he's a legend. Come on, man. You gotta stop using this word so loosely. I've loved this girl after 4 years. I love this girl the same way after 4 months. Come on.
Here's the early makings of possibly becoming a legend. Spin it that way.
Say that, he had legend DNA.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple more
I still don't want to
records.
I still don't want to.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's not shade.
I wouldn't, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like based off our age and where we come from, we don't really have the right to tell people, the kids that listen to him, that he wasn't that important. I just want them to understand that, we weren't just there calling every motherfucker legend. You know what I mean? I'm not calling Skilo legend. I'm not calling Vanilla Ice legend and shit like that. Even, depending who you talk to, they were like, those guys had a little run. They're not legend. You understand what I'm saying? But hey, that's what we gotta teach these kids. Yeah, he did all right. But Aretha, what you gotta understand is that even when we're gone, she's good. It's not about when we're gone. She's still blaring somewhere. She's still incorporated in some movies. She's gonna be in some car commercial. They're gonna make, friggin' Broadway plays of her. And it's funny too, because in January they actually announced that Jennifer Hudson's gonna play her.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? In a movie. Yeah, in a movie, you know what I mean? Largely based on her life. So you understand what I'm saying? She gonna live on.
I'm saying no Lifetime enjoy, man. No lip singing going down. I ain't here for that.
As long as it's not Wendy Williams doing Aaliyah, everyone's good. You know what I mean? Now, when you didn't see Wendy Williams did that Aaliyah joint? Wendy Williams did a fucking a TV movie about Aaliyah.
She produced it.
Yeah, bro. And it kind of focused on R. Kelly's relationship with her, and at the end it was Dame.
I heard about that.
I heard about it. I caught the last
People should be anywhere
20/30 minutes. It was horrible, yeah. But they can't, man. They're don't. And shout out Benny Boom as a great hip hop director, but they're not gonna fuck this up like Pac. I still haven't watched Pac. That's because once I hear Jada Pinkett Smith, who's one of his best friends, talk about it as an injustice, that's someone that knew Pac. Why the fuck do I need to watch it? The person that knew him the best said this is a waste of my time.
The man wrote poetry to her. If she's not writing, I'm not writing.
Yeah, exactly. So, for us, we get to pick and choose. But I don't think anybody, whoever they're going to friggin' top bill to be responsible for that is definitely going to have to know the shoes that they need to fill and the ceiling of expectancy that you can't drop that ball. But, I want to know this off the top. I got to oh my God. I'm actually going to narrow it down if I can try. Some of your favorite Aretha tracks.
Daydreaming. I love Daydreaming.
I think you like Daydream more because of Cam, though. The Sappho?
Well, it made me appreciate it.
Yeah.
I actually just...
Yeah.
Soothing to listen to.
And
it actually feels like you're daydreaming when you listen.
It's a dope track. It's definitely a dope track. And shout out to Cam, too.
The one that Most Def sample, I Miss Fat Boy One Time Ahead. That's probably one of my.
One Step
Yeah, One Step Ahead. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites.
my gosh. I got a bunch. Fuck.
Of course, respect.
Yeah. Who's zooming who? You're all that I need. Jump to it.
Got the vinyl here.
Alright, jump to it. Ain't No Way. Dr. Feelgood. Oh my gosh. Freeway of Love. First of all, Freeway of Love is just, it's that track, right? And I'm gonna put Daydreaming on that shit too. And Do Right Woman, Do Right Man.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, Natural Woman. I'm gonna forget Natural.
Yeah. I mean, there's no real wrong answer with Aretha, right?
Yeah.
It kind of depends because she has like something like, I feel like I'm in church. I want to assess my relationship.
She's gonna come.
That's a big track, yeah. I have all those. They're all on here,
Chain
bro.
of Fools is another good one too.
Chain of Fools, definite. That's a big one.
And even a little more recent, the one that was written and produced by Lauryn Hill.
A Rose is Still a Rose. That's alright.
One of her last bigger, I guess you can.
That was 98.
Yeah.
Oh, she did music after that, but yeah. Don't Play That Song. Oh my God, I got a whole bunch.
Spanish Harlem.
Something You Can Feel.
Spanish Harlem's another one.
Yeah, Something He Can Feel is dope too. Think's dope. Yeah, that one I could. Until You Come Back to Me. Did you say Until You Come Back to Me? Oh, okay, I thought you said that one. And this is bangers, bro. Son of a Preacher Man.
Oh yeah, when she switched up to Dusty Springfield and she did her version of it, killed it.
Baby, Baby, Baby. Bridge Over Troubled Water. That's the one to make you fucking think real quick. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man.
So, is it safe to say, I don't know, this is for you guys, this is a perception up to you guys. Like everyone always says, I guess her biggest song that everyone knows is Respect. With that being said, would you say, like, since Otis Redding is the original artist that did that and hearing his version, then hearing her do that, obviously does more than a service, but like, is that like her song now? Like, do people even forget that Otis Redding even came out with that song? God rest his soul too.
Mix it into that.
You can't say like. You can never say like that person is just.
I got the best example for this too.
But she just took it to another place.
Yeah.
I clearly
And we talk
never disrespect, but sometimes you just it's almost like a Lauryn Hill taking Killing Soft.
They just shut this guy up. That's exactly what I'm gonna say. Roberta Flack, Body Killing Me Softly, but you're gonna ignore what fucking the Fugees did with that shit. You can't, right? Like they give her respect, but this one took it top notch. Cause Otis did his thing, but like, and the joke is because even like women love that song. Because a lot of women think she's singing from the perspective of a woman, which she's not. She's singing about a dude that comes home from work. Yeah. And they say, cut the shit. I demand this shit. That's from a man's perspective. But a lot of women made that an anthem. You know what I mean? Like when they're talking out their neck and they snap, like they're snapping, right? All right, cool. Don't have to make it gender specific. Everyone. Respect, right? So I definitely agree with that. That's the thing. I didn't know Tim was gonna touch on it, but definitely, like, I'd compare that exactly to "Killing Me Softly" with Roberta Flack and the Fugees, because fuck, you can't deny that monster, bro. Like, you're fully, and it depends on the tempo too, right? Because when you hear Roberta Flack "Killing Me Softly," that's okay, like. You're driving far up north, the windows are down, you're just vibing, just taking in all this shit, right? You're playing Killing Me Softly, like you're cleaning up your house, you're at a fucking 90s party, get some kind of nostalgic vibe. Remember middle school, whatever it is, so shout out to Aretha, she knew what was up, and she knew that if she friggin' sampled it and played it and didn't come out right, she'd be ridiculed for it. But that's why she's the fucking queen. I mean, because she left. She left the body bag on that.
I guess in closing, any personal favorite moments that resonate with you guys personally when you think of Aretha Franklin and her legacy and what she's left behind? Is there like one moment?
A lot of her last performances. So the inauguration.
Yeah.
That
was powerful. Yeah.
From
Super Bowl in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I'm gonna say those two, but there's a lot more. But her last two, because you mean like those were like Detroit's her hometown. You know what I mean? And then like seeing Obama, a joyful place to the point where the waterworks came. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, that just shows like you can like just be in a regular state of mind, nothing's even bothering you. Just hearing that woman just strikes a chord. You know what I mean? Like, it can bring a smile, it can trigger an emotion, right? For like the people that grew up in it, because like even for us, like when we were teenagers, our things were like Pac and Big, right?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think about like our elders, whether that be aunts, uncles, you know, parentals, whatever the case may be, right? Like when she was coming down, anyone born in the 50s, like they were like all 12 plus, early teenagers or whatever, right? So that's their soundtrack. Right, that's what they're listening to. I don't know regarding whether radio or whatever the case may be, but that's their, you know what I mean, soundtrack, going to school, coming home, whatever it is, right? The Arethas and stuff like that. So salute to her, man.
What was for me, good thing you said, yeah, that inauguration, just her coming with that soul and just like, I guess, the changing of guard, or like the changing of like a whole perspective on a nation, seeing like the first black president and having the queen, somebody with such a commanding voice, her confidence, as you're talking about her as a diva, like not the stuck up way of a diva, but like class and elegance to come there, and no matter if you're a fan of rock or like something like just you don't even care for maybe the soul's genre, like just seeing her and her presence and her confidence and her stature and what's going on, that moment was crazy to see. And that was a moment. And just like just as a kid, just hearing Respect and seeing my mom play it, and just with my sister and my pops, and like it's such a feel-good song. It's like a Saturday morning, like they could be cleaning or something, whatever's going on. We're all singing the song. It's just like a family moment. Like those things resonate with me. Like a lot of people don't get to have those family moments where like a song is bringing you together, bringing you so much
Definitely doesn't happen
joy.
these days. Yeah.
So that's something I'll always take with me. Of hearing Respect in the morning, it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day. Like that's like a perfect moment that I remember my childhood. So
for sure, like for me, I'm right with both of y'all in the aspect that at the inauguration, because like, you know, just seeing that whole run that Obama went on, and then now just like the icing on the cake, you know, like Queen of Soul was there. She just asked us for the attention to control not just everyone that was there present, but everybody that was watching on their TV screens and whatnot. So that definitely was an impactful, one of her more recent and later moments in her life. But definitely, I would say the one stand-up moment for me that really put her on my radar into like, this is a special human being, as I remember, because for you guys who know, like I'm a wrestling fan, so I remember my pops, he loved wrestling, and we were watching WrestleMania 3, and I remember they kicked it off with her singing the national anthem. And at the time, and I still think it is, that was at the time, I think it was like 90,000 or some odd people in the Indianapolis Superdome. And she killed it. Like, she sang it and she had everybody's attention. I just remember her getting the biggest and loudest ovation, and I'm just like this girl sounds like she's more than music to me. At a young age, I'm like, something special about this woman, but I didn't, get it till I was younger. Or should I say till I got older. So that definitely was when I'm like, okay, Aretha Franklin, this is a special human being.
It's crazy because for her talent is so undeniable. I feel like she's one of the rare artists that just broke, like, don't get it twisted, man, like ignorance is always bliss, but she's one of the artists that broke the race barrier. Like, a lot of people that are Aretha Franklin fans don't even look at her as a black artist, as a black woman. Like, you close your eyes and you hear that voice and you're just in a zone. Like, you lock in. Like, some of her biggest fans don't look like us. You know what I mean? Like there's cultural differences. I mean, like they probably don't even wear shoes. Like but no, that is it. They probably walk bare feet. Like, you know what I mean? Like depending on the part of the country, or the globe they're at. But there's cultural differences. And the one thing that's universal as a language is the music, right? And that's what she was able to do just using her gift. Like, and then you gotta shout out everyone that's on her Mount Rushmore: the Arethas, the Michael Jacksons, the Whitneys, the Bob Marleys, the Hendrix. You know what I mean? Like the Prince. You know what I mean? Like these are the kind of people where it's crazy because they're older than us, right? And a lot of our parents and, you know, a lot of the adults in our life, and I mean, they were fans of them, but we were young enough and grew to be teenagers and catch some of their greatness, and I mean, not even in the tail end, because a lot of these people, up until their last dying moments, were still significant, right? And that's just because of the power of music and just, you know what I mean, just leaving your appropriate, you know, your footprint in regards to culture. So, you know, salute to Aretha, man. She did what she was supposed to do, and you see it in the Beyoncés to a degree. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And a lot of these other artists that come from that homeschool, you know, even some of these people, like the Faith Evans at times in her prime, you know, you can hear the pain in her voice. And she's going through the big. I'll take your word. I'm not a big Alicia Keys fan, but I'm not going to discredit her. But yeah, Mary, definitely. And then, you know, Keisha Cole is more, because Keisha Cole gets indirectly affected by Aretha too, because Keisha Cole is more younger of Mary, but Mary comes from the school of Aretha. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How that trickles down. Yeah. So salute to the Queen of Soul, man. You know, you're gone but never forgotten. You're gone in the physical. Jesus Christ, you know, you didn't know you're number one on iTunes. Like, if that's something you just want to stun on again and just add that to your trophy mantle, like you needed that, right? Yeah, nah, just, you know, do what you do, man. And I'm glad that you're just not getting that footnote in the paper or, you know, anything. You're being celebrated in the best way possible. And this is expanding. After a 60-year run, you got to understand that there's people with gray hair saluting you. I mean, people that are able-bodied saluting you. People in wheelchairs saluting you. Like, there's just, it's different. Like, people, that's the range of everyone that you affected. So, you know,
generations for sure.
Definitely, you know, rest peacefully. And, you know, it's sad, you know, to see another legend go, you know, but I guess in these times where everyone's just not, you know, making it like a more of a burden and a saddened thing, like you're being celebrated, and that's how you should be. Like, your music wasn't, it wasn't okay, I want to go pop some pills. Nah, like you had an uplifting and a joyous, you know, feel, and that's how you're being celebrated as you should. You know, salute to the family, you know.
Rightfully deserved too.
Yeah, and everybody that's directly affected, family, you know, friends of family, and everyone else that has to go through the grieving process. Salute to the Queen, you know what I mean?
Rest in peace, Aretha. We appreciate you. We love you. You'll forever live on. Never be forgotten. We'll
Thank you.
To play your music. Your music lives within hip hop, the genre that we love. So you'll be here forever. We always appreciate you, and condolences to the families. All we can do is appreciate you. That's why we're here. That's why we designated a whole episode to your legacy. So love you. See you when we get there.
And shout out to all the parents and all the elders that had her blasting when we were kids. So I mean, just appreciate seeing this 60-year reign of having your foot on everyone's neck, and let everyone know that the quality of music and the artistry and just, you know, the composition, everything needs to be at a certain level, right? Like, you never let up, you know. If it wasn't for your health and stuff like that, right, you wouldn't be having, you know, like retirement. You didn't seem like you were ready to retire. You know, so salute to Aretha, man, all day, every day.
You'll be missed, and thank you for the music.
Yeah, for sure.
Hold it near and dear to our hearts.
For sure, and I mean, Queen of Soul.